Well, my first year to compete in the Fort Worth Rodeo was in 1965, and I was just a young kid that all of a sudden was in the lead for the bull riding championship and came here and won. I believe I won second and third in the bull riding, had a good spring, and ended up winning the championship that year. So this was sort of the one that catapulted me off into that world of wanting to win more championships.
50 years ago, in 1965, Larry Mahan made his first trip to Fort Worth as a 22-year-old cowboy who had achieved success in his home state of Oregon. He won the bull riding that year at the Fort Worth Stock Show, getting a start on what would become a very successful rodeo season, winning the World Championship in bull riding and the first of many gold buckles. The following year, Larry Mahan became the first athlete to qualify and compete at the National Finals Rodeo in 3 events. In fact, it can be argued that this was also the first time that the term athlete was used to describe rodeo cowboys. Mahan won the first of 5 consecutive World All-Around titles that year, achieving the pinnacle of rodeo awards from 1966 to 1970, and a 6th time in 1973. He also won the World Bull Riding title again in 1967, that year becoming the first cowboy to win more than $50,000 in a single year. By the end of 1970, his career earnings were more than $280,000. He nursed some minor injuries in the early 1970s and slowed his competition, but Mahan continued to win, including another all-around title in 1973. Mahan's 1973 comeback and competition with Phil Lyon was the subject of the documentary The Great American Cowboy, which won the 1973 Academy Award for Documentary Feature. Larry Mahan's consecutive all-around record of 5 in a row was not surpassed until 1994 by Ty Murray, and his 6 total all-around victories were not surpassed until 1998, also by Murray. It stood for 25 years. One record, however, has withstood the test of time. Today, Larry remains the all-time NFR qualifier in the rough stock events with an astonishing 26 qualifications. Larry is also the only person to have won the Bull Riding World Championship, All-Around World Championship, and Saddle Bronc Average during the same NFR in 1967. Additionally, he rode the 6-time Bucking Horse of the Year, Descent, for the high score of that NFR. This great horse is buried on Larry's Colorado Ranch. Larry Mahan was one of rodeo's first mainstream media stars and a trendsetter who helped professional rodeo gain exposure to a larger audience. He flew his own plane, wore loud shirts, had longish hair, and made appearances on TV shows and in magazine ads. He retired from competition in 1977, having somehow escaped major injuries after competing in more than 1,000 rodeos. As a natural extension of his Western lifestyle, he started his Larry Mahan Cowboy Collection, a line of Western wear in the 1970s and still is a very successful venture today, including trend-setting shirts, well-made cowboy boots, and hats. He has mentored many youngsters who have gone on to become rodeo stars. His book, The Fundamentals of Rodeo Riding, was first published in 1972. He has been honored in virtually every Rodeo and Western Hall of Fame and is sought after as a television host. Larry and his wife Julianne enjoy time on their ranches in Colorado, Oklahoma, and Texas, where they raise horses and cattle. Larry still competes, but in less bone-jarring events of team roping and cutting, where he continues to have great success. Today, the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame honors Larry Mahan and celebrates the 50th anniversary of his first World Championship. But first, here's a message from the champ himself.
Hi-ho, you didn't have your Wheaties. Oh no, you bit the dust again. Tough fight, you didn't have your Wheaties. Hold tight, oh what a day it's been.
Hey, Mahan, I reckon you forgot your Wheaties.
Hey, Wheaties, have you had yours today? You can bet Larry Mahan won't forget his tomorrow.
He's in a bar in Montana with a can of cold beer in his hand. He may be from Wyoming Texas man. He rides the Broncos up north in the Calgary Stampede. They call him a cowboy, a fast-living, slow-dying breed. You may see him in Cheyenne or a ranch down in New Mexico. Drive from Utah to Texas just to ride in an old rodeo. He's a modern bull rider, but he lives by the old Western creed. They call him a cowboy, a fast-living, slow-dying breed. They call him a cowboy, and that's all he ever wanted to be. Sometimes he's a hero, at times he ain't easy to please. Sometimes he's a drifter, just like an old tumbleweed. They call him a cowboy, a fast-living, slow-dying breed. When the roundup is over and the work is all done in the fall, you may see him in Tucson with the bar ladies having a ball. Every woman's a lady, and that's how he'll always believe. Most ladies love cowboys, a fast-living, slow-dying breed. They call him a cowboy, and that's all he ever wanted to be. Sometimes he's a hero, at times he ain't easy to please. Sometimes he's a drifter, just like an old tumbleweed. They call him a cowboy, a fast-living, slow-dying breed. They call me a cowboy from a fast-living, slow-dying breed.